you don't really know how close it is until you cross the line if people are coming like behind you. So I looked up at the end and saw how close it was, but I think that's what makes racing fun. When it's so close, you can't call it before the race starts, and it's fun to be a part of those races.
I mean, talk us through kind of tactically how the race felt for you.
Well, I just wanted to forget about the pace and just relax and run the race. So I wanted to be calm the first couple of laps. It was pretty messy. I'm not sure if that came through, but there was a lot of pushing and shoving and finding positions. So I just tried to keep really cool. And then I knew if I was there with like 150 to go, I'd be able to kick hard for home. So yeah, I wanted to be at the front with a bell at the bell lap, and I wasn't, so I had to battle a bit. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the race.
I mean, what's going through your mind in that literally the last 100, the last 50, as you're still in the mix and you're not like 100% getting the win yet?
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun because you're gaining on people, so you're like, and the crowd's getting louder and louder, so you know it's going to be close. And I just like thought, as I say, if I'm within touching distance towards the end, I think I can just edge it. But I do think positioning is so important in these kind of races. So had I been like half a step back, I might not have been able to get there. So I tried to like battle through around the last bend just to get that positioning.
I mean, the 3K last week was a tough race, obviously. Did you take anything from that with you, or did you just kind of like let that go?
Yeah, I felt like I got a lot of hate for last week's race, but for me it was like, we're very much about putting ourselves into uncomfortable positions. I'm very much an 800, 1500 meter runner, and so I always want to do a 3K once a year just to give myself perspective. I ran a 6-second PB and did the 5th fastest time ever by a Brit, but I guess the standards have changed, and yeah, it definitely made me hungry to win again, but I was never going to win that race. That was just more for a PB. So definitely made 8 laps, feel really short today, having done 15 last week in 3K.
Does a race like this give you confidence knowing, okay, you came off an amazing 2024,
Yeah.
now, you've had kind of ups and downs, but this race kind of like, does this give you confidence looking forward to 2025?
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a really tough year. Like, everyone ups their game. You can never like rest on your laurels. What was true last year is not true this year. Like, you've got to prove yourself again and again. So I take confidence from last year, but I loved racing last year because I was such an underdog. And for any underdogs out there who are having their season, it's the best place to be. Enjoy it. You only get it once, and then you come into races like this, and the expectation is on you to win, and it's a different place to be. So I've still got lots of work to do, lots of areas to improve, but I've got a great team around me, and I'm excited for this year.
So you prefer to have that kind of underdog status?
Yeah.
You don't like the lights and the...
Yeah, being the underdog is awesome. Like, it is so good. Like, you can just be in the shape of your life, but no one's giving you any pressure. Like, whatever you do is a benefit. Like, in Paris last year in the Olympic final, I was not nervous at all. I was just like, if I fall flat on my face and run 5 minutes, it will be a breakthrough that I've even made it here. Whereas now I have my internal British champs in a few weeks. I'll be more nervous for that than I was for the Olympic final, because now the expectation is to win. So yeah, I loved last year, but this is all about evolving as an athlete mentally and physically. And so that's my challenge for this year.
Do you think you could be a